right, guys. It's going to be a busy night. We have got a lot of stuff going on. So, LR Ginyu Force is actually going to be dropping here. Yes. Pretty good. Is the Thieving 6 wiki updated? It is not updated yet. Okay. So one thing I do want to mention is that the LR does have the same name as the physical LR Ginyu Force. There is a way to check what medals we need for them in here, right? I think if we look at the TUR and SSR, I actually am curious. Alright, so for the SSR, it looks like Dokkan Fest Captain Ginyu medals, and then this is from the first Namek Dragon Ball story event, not too bad. And then several medals for, that's Dokkan Fest Captain Ginyu, Dokkan Fest Transforming Goku, and Dokkan Fest Transforming Frieza. Okay. Sure. Okay. So, let's go ahead and take a look at how good the LR Ginyu Force are. Let's take a look at their stats. Again, you want to give just 5,000 to each. Oh, that HP, though. Whew! Oh, my God! Defense is very high. Attack, maybe a slight notch low for a summonable LR, a little bit. But, I mean, HP and defense are looking very high, right? And they're int? Oh, perfect. Okay. Well, if they need to be given the dodge build, that means they can be given an elite one as an int character, right? All right. LR Ginyu Force, right? Remember, it's the same name as the physical LR. Ginyu Force or special pose categories, key 4 and 150% stats. Remember, this is a yellow coin LR, which means there's going to be pity for this character. 12 key super. 50% defense, colossal damage, and stuns attacked enemy. So that is a 1-turn stun. Okay. There's a 50% chance for an additional effect to activate where attack also greatly raises for 1 turn. 15 key super. It's a 50% attack stack and colossal damage. 50% chance for an additional effect to activate where defense also greatly raises for the rest of the battle. Okay. 18 key super, massively raise attack and defense for 1 turn, mega colossal damage, and raise allies attack and defense other than this character 30% for 1 turn. So, okay, I mean, 15 key. So, okay. When you do an additional, you will always do with the minimum key. So you will hit this, the 12 key, always. The additional is always the lowest amount of key. If you get an additional with a character that's super, like 9 key or something like that, you'll see that. Or like Tech, Super ECA Tech, Super Saiyan 3 Gotenks, gonna be like that. So in order to get this, unless there's another, like an additional in their passive or something like that, you would need to miss the 18 key super. Let me read the rest of the unit. So, okay, there's that. I mean, this is a permanent, like, this, as a permanent stack, like, we would want to find a way to get this. Okay. And then there's that one. Okay, which, 100% stats. And then, this is only for 1 turn. Damn, if it was for 2 turns. Okay. Passive. So, they have an intro. When there are 5 or more special pose category allies on the team. Okay, so Topo's team just immediately, huh? They get 3 key, 150% of stats, additional super. For the rest of battle? Oh, you have to get their intro. Look at this. So they get 3 key, 150% stats, and an additional super. That's for the rest of the fight. And then for 3 turns, all allies 25% attack and events other than this character. That's good for, like, Cell Max, Battlefield. Well, okay. That's a lot, dude. They get a lot. That's a huge amount of stats. And guaranteed additional super. None of this bullshit of, like, 70% or something like that. So that means they're guaranteed stunning an enemy, by the way. That's what that means. Now, this is only for 1 turn. It's not a 2-turn stun. This would be Goldo. Right, Goldo super. They always give Goldo that effect. All right. Then their start of turn buff, 2 key, 150% attack and defense. They guard and super effective against all types if all allies attacking in turn are special pose. Okay. Reduce damage received by 7% before attacking and chance to crit 7% when attacking per special pose ally on the team. Oh, wow. Special pose category allies on this character, 25% attack and defense for 2 turns if they get an int or a rainbow key sphere. Gain an additional 50% attacking for the turn when collecting any type key sphere other than int. Wow, they are good. Oh my god. Let me just... So their intro, 3 key, 150% of stats, guaranteed additional super. And then for 3 turns, all allies are getting 25% attack and defense. So it's just going to cover the first turn. Well, okay, but yeah, it's just going to make sure. Okay. So I got that. 2 key, 150% of stats. They're guarding. Super effective against all types. 7% damage reduction, 7% crit when attacking. I'm going to want to see their start of turn defense. But, I mean, man, they're... I feel like they synergize well with Topo. We'll get to a point where, like, Blue Gogeta towards the end, like, them guarding plus the 35% damage reduction probably is not going to be enough for Blue Gogeta. But by then, we could just swap into God Topo. And then this character is going to buff Topo like crazy. Why? I mean, I don't want... This is a huge buff to Topo, but why could Kale not get this like last year? Like, I don't want to... Like, what? Like, it's just good that this year they didn't make the same mistake, but, like, you know, compare what this does for Topo to what Boo did for Kale, right? It's night and day. This is what you need to do for Dokkan Fest, though. Now, they are restricted... basically specifically to Topo's team, which, I mean, yeah, that's a bummer, but they're insanely busted to compensate for that. Oh, and then they're active. Able to be used starting from turn 3 from first appearance, if the entire team is Ginyu Force, or starting from turn 5 from first appearance, if the entire team is special pose. That's that naughty. What? What? For the rest of battle, 25% all other oh my god. They have the best active in the game. That's got to be the best active in the game by far, right? I mean, the Beast active is crazy, and Carnival Blue Gogeta, and, like, Orange Piccolo and Ribrianne, but, like, oh my god, dude, are you kidding? It's an active skill buff, dude. It's not just 15%. Oh my god. They're crazy. Special pose is crazy. Bro, you run, like, Topo and Pride Troopers, LR Ribrianne, damn, we need Kefla, dude. Because then, you know, Captain LR Ginyu, and then... So, the team is Topo and Pride Trooper, Captain Ginyu, Ribrianne, and Kefla. That's the build. That's the build right there. Holy hell, that team is ridiculous. It's untouchable, really. Man. They look good. I know they're restricted to Topo's team. It's a bummer. I mean, there's a lot of content they're not really going to be able to effectively help out too much. So, no intro. They lose huge stats, guaranteed additional. So you can have one non-special pose ally on the team. One. Or, well, no. Yeah, no, it's 2. You could have 2. Because it's 5 or more. It's not saying other than this character. So you could have 2 non-special pose characters on the team activating their passive. Now, if the whole rotation is special pose, though, they get the guard. That's so important. You'd have to be so careful. Huh. Definitely going to want to see it in game. I'm definitely going to want to see how a lot of this works. 15 key? I just... like, you're just never... Like, you're not going to see that. Like, okay, links, gentlemen, respect, Ginyu Force, loyalty, signature pose, fierce battle, legendary power. Besides the bottom... Their link set sucks besides the bottom 3. I mean... Eventually, I mean, maybe like Captain Ginyu is not really runnable. Ginyu Force, Special Pose, Namek Saga, Dragon Ball Seekers, Terrifying Conqueror, Space Traveling Warrior, Join Forces, but I mean, they are restricted to one team. I don't hate the character. I mean, it's like the number one thing I want from them is to buff Topo, and they did that, but it is at a big cost, and that's they only buff Topo basically, or you know, Gotenks characters or something like that. That is a bummer. So like, let's say Golden Week is Namek Saga, just throwing it out there, and like, you know, there's a Kaioken Goku that leads the Namek Saga category. Like, probably not gonna run this character on that team, right? I'm a little conflicted because I don't like the heavy restrictions on a new summonable character, but it's doing the other thing I really want, which is buffing the new Dokkan Fest. I need to think on it more. They're super on special pose. They are. I mean, if you had a character like this on every category, like the game would be way more fun. They're ridiculous. So yeah, okay, wow, okay, they're very good. I mean, but it's one of those things that it's like, you know, you're you know, to use this character full effect, you know, you need to have Topo, and then you're going to need to get them. And, I mean, you know, you might want, like, the LR Gammas, the LR Ribrian. I mean, it is a very new team, right? Like, we're talking about a lot of brand new characters, although these EZA, like, a bunch of these units are very usable on the team. Gotenks is good. Ribrian, obviously, we talked about. They're going to be very, especially with the extra stats from the LR Ginyu team, like, they're going to be way better. To Topo on this team, oh my god. Topo is going to be so much stronger with this Ginyu Force running around. And then remember, the Gotmas are on there as well. The LR Gammas are special pose. So that's the thing. I mean, maybe... I mean, get rid of her and the other Ribrian, and I mean, just add Gotenks and the Gammas. Or, I mean, because this Ribrian, you know, to runner, you do want the other two Peppy gals. Right now, JP doesn't have Kefla yet, but once Kefla's out, like, you know, LR Ribrian, Giant Ribrian, Kefla as, like, a trio works very well. Yeah, let me know what you guys think. It's hard to rank this character as, like, a top 10. Plus, I'm going to need I want a lot of experience seeing some of these buffs. Like, this shit is so nuts, dude. Oh, my god. Dude, you get them turn 1. Oh! Like, this is how, like, 9th anniversary is the biggest power creep we've ever had in terms of, like, what the bosses do and shit like that. But it's like, when they're dropping shit like this, it makes it way easier to deal with than the 7th anniversary. Problem with the 7th anniversary is, all the units they gave us in 2021 weren't, I mean, they were good for the time, but, like, they weren't really that crazy. And then, all the characters in the first half of 2022 sucked as well. So, it's just they weren't giving us good enough characters. Whereas now, it's like, you know, EZAs look like this guy. This is what EZAs look like right now. So, it makes it a lot easier to deal with the power creep that they gave us when they're dropping guys like this. Right? So, let me know what you guys think. They're crazy. Huge buff to Topo. Huge buff to Topo.